Hello again. Welcome back to this fifth video on C programming. I wasn't sure that I would make this many videos or if I would just keep doing this, but people seem to like the videos and it's been an effective learning strategy for me. So I'm just going to keep doing it, and it's been fun, and so why not? If I wanted to address something, if anything seems unclear, if I'm not explaining something properly, if you didn't feel like you understood something that I explained, then please leave a comment in my videos. I will try to address that comment straight in the comment section, or I will just address it all together in another video. I'll do my best. But yeah, if anything's unclear, please let me know. Today, we will be going over how to make your life easier programming C in Visual Studio Code. Basically making Visual Studio Code help you and do some of the work for you. I should have probably covered this earlier in this video series, but I'm learning, so here we go. Before I start, I'd like to point out that there is some lovely documentation, and I will put a link to this in the description of this video, about everything that I'll be going over here today. So if you're stuck somewhere, if I didn't explain everything in enough detail, please check out the description and go to that link. There you go. Okay. Let's first open up Visual Studio Code here, and then I'll move myself down here. Next, kind of before, a prerequisite for this, the stuff that I'm going to be showing you here, is that you have to have a C compiler already installed on your machine, on your system. Yeah, this won't work if you don't have a C compiler installed. So, once you have a C compiler installed, in Visual Studio Code, let's just look at the things that we have here. Over on the left, we have the Explorer. This is kind of where we will be opening up our folders and files. We have a search function here to search through our files. We have some source control. Maybe I'll cover that in a different video series altogether. Version control and source control is a very important topic in software development. Run and debug, and then we have this extensions. In extensions, let's go into extensions. Now you might have, it might look something like this for you, like popular and recommended. Let's just close these up to clean up a little bit here for now. To begin with, you can see that we have 0 extensions installed. So I've kind of started fresh here, started clean, to show you how to do these things. So Visual Studio Code is, what I like about Visual Studio Code is that it comes, and the way it comes is that it's very clean and it doesn't have a lot of stuff in it. But you can add to it with extensions. So if you want to program in Python, you can add stuff for developing Python. If you want to develop in C or C++, you can do that same thing right here. So the extension that we want to be adding to Visual Studio Code is just one for now. Is C++. This one right here. So if you search for this, you should find this extension. If you click it, you come to this menu. It describes a lot about this extension, and we're just going to hit install. So it's installing. Next, if you haven't done this already, we should put our C file, this file right here, into its own folder. kind of its project folder, or some call it a workspace. So if we just create a new folder here, new folder, my C code, for example, and then we move this C file into that. Now, if we go into Visual Studio Code, we can go to the File, Open folder, and then we find our code. Desktop should have been here. My C code, there it is. And click yes, I trust the authors. I am the author, so that's cool. You get greeted with this welcome page. We can close that for now, but now we can see that in our file explorer, we are in the My C code folder, and we are looking at the test.c file. So it's right here. So our code is right there. Everything is good. So what this extension here gives us, among other things, is IntelliSense. And IntelliSense is kind of like a helper, if you will, in software development. Let's see here. We are familiar with the printf function. If I write prin, look at that. It is now suggesting that I might be writing, wanting to write printf. This comes with IntelliSense, and I'll go over a couple more features of this, but this is why we want this extension. So I can just hit enter, and now that kind of finished that for me. So we get some stuff for free. There's a chance that VS Code, sorry, we shorten Visual Studio Code to VS Code. That's just easier to say. So VS Code, there's a chance that VS Code automatically detected your C compiler after you installed it and configured the IntelliSense for you. In which case, if you go to your program here and do this, and this pops up, you're all good. You're kind of done. But if that didn't happen for you, there might be a yellow box down in the right corner here. Let me just move myself. It would be down in the right corner here. It would be a yellow box. If you hit it, you should be able to click and choose the correct compiler. But if that doesn't show up, you can also go into your this like configuration file, and this is how you do that. You hit you go up here to this search bar, and you hit Control Shift P, and then Control Shift P, and then you search for this edit configuration. So if I do like C/C++ colon edit, then I should get to this edit configurations option. I hit that, and now if I move myself back here first, now we notice that in our folder there was a new folder created called VSCode.VSCode. So this dot means that it's a hidden folder, and within that folder we got this CPP properties.json, and this is that the content of that file. This basically configures your project, your IntelliSense, to know which compiler you're using. You can see that it's using the GCC compiler, and that you are on a Windows system, and that we want to be using the C11 standard. If you go back to my first video in the series, I was talking about the different C revisions of the C standard. This is using the C11 revision. Okay, so now that that's set up, it should definitely be working. So now if you do printf, everything should be perfect. And you even see, like, even if I miswrote it, it understands that's what I wanted to write. Very cool. There is one more very helpful feature that we can do in Visual Studio Code, and that is, well, up until now, we have compiled our code, and then we've run that compiled code. But what if we want to just do one thing, like do both of those things in the same go? Can we automate that somehow so that, we make our lives easier as a software developer? We want to do things quickly. Then you just kind of hit this run option up here. And then you choose your C compiler, in my case, gcc.exe. And that will automatically create this tasks.json file. And this file will actually do exactly that. It will make sure that when you try to run your code through Visual Studio Code here, it compiles and then runs that code. So there's a couple of different familiar things in here. You can see that we are using the GCC compiler, and it is using the -o argument or flag on GCC that we used in a previous video. That makes it so that the compiler sets the correct name for your file when it compiles. And yeah, we can see that it was compiled here, test.exe, and then run. So if I now go to my C code, and add hello everyone. And then we hit play. And you see we get two terminal windows open here. One's for building or compiling and compiling and running, preparing your executable basically. And the other one is running your executable. Hello everyone. So yeah, we can see here that it was using the GCC command. It used this .g flag, which has to do with debugging, and it used this -o flag, which has to do with the name of the executable file. Cool. So here's what you get with IntelliSense. I've shown you one thing already. If I'm just writing code, the IntelliSense here will suggest what you're trying to write, so you can hit tab or enter. So that's called code completion. Another thing that comes with it is parameter info. So if we do printf and then do that, we can go here, hover over printf, and then now you can see kind of what printf expects you to send in. And it says here something about character. We know what a character is. So it has something to do with, sending in characters. But yeah, so if you hover over something, it will tell you something about that thing. Another thing is syntax highlighting. Usually comes with IntelliSense. It's what makes all these pretty colors in our text. Another thing is code actions. So if I remove this semicolon, for example, should, after a little bit, show this code action, this light bulb. And if I hit it, you see you get some things that you can do. It might suggest solutions and might tell you there's a better way to write this. So those are code actions, basically. In this case, it doesn't really do anything else than just disabling these red squiggles. But we want those red squiggles in this case because it's telling us that there's a missing semicolon. There we go. So those are code actions. And then one more thing that I want to show is this bring me to the definition of a thing feature with this IntelliSense. So if I hover over this printf, and then I hold down Control, You see it turned blue, and then I click it. Now it actually brought me, it opened the very definition of this printf function in this stdio library. So if you're ever curious about like what's the inner workings, what's the kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, yeah, the inner workings of something like printf, then you do exactly that. Control, hit, and then you get to the definition of it. So those are some very useful tool that you get with this extension. So yeah, that's how you make your life easier in VS Code when you want to program C or even C++. It's kind of the same workflow for C++. All right.